Operari Sequitur Esse. Operari Sequitur Esse is an important philosophical statement used by the Church for centuries, especially the great scholastic doctors like St. Thomas Aquinas, St. Bonaventure, etc. Borrowed from Aristotelian metaphysics, it means action, operation, doing, follows being. That is, operari, to operate, to work, to do, sequitur, it follows, esse, to be, being. This is very important to understand. All real Catholic theology partners with philosophy and is practical. Guiding our real-life understanding and actions is the point, guiding all to God. What does this saying really tell us? Well, first off, it tells us that being is the foundation for doing. We can't do anything without existing first. And being is of utmost importance. In fact, God himself is infinite being. Esse infinitum in Latin. When Moses asked God his name, he replied in Exodus 3:14, Ego sum qui sum. Sic dices filiis Israel, qui est misit me ad vos. That is, I am who am. Ego sum qui sum. Thus shall you say to the children of Israel, He who is has sent me to you. Beings, inasmuch as they exist, are good, true, and beautiful. God is being himself, necessary being, infinite being, the source of all being, goodness itself, truth himself. Which means, as a second point, greatness is not as much what we do as who we are as created by God, his image and likeness, as man, unique. We are worthwhile, regardless of our activity or lack thereof. Herein lies our inherent dignity as children of God. When we lose sight of this, we humans fall into tragic errors such as Nazi utilitarianism, for example, where we measure our worth based on how useful we are. This is a big danger and an important lesson that we have to keep in mind. Thirdly, this leads us to becoming who he created us to be by aligning our wills with his will. He's forming you first to be your greatest masterpiece, that is, esse, who you are. And he's preparing you also to be his hands to provide for some need that you will encounter in the world, that is, operari, our action, our operation for him. So both are important, but being comes first. The fourth point, our great actions flow from this being, in accordance with it. As a cat is identified as such by doing cat things, our actions flow from our nature primarily, who we have become through our repeated actions, our virtues, and our vices, and especially through the operation of God's grace if we cooperate with it. As Jesus said, for example, in Matthew chapter 7, by their fruits you shall know them. Do men gather grapes from thorns or figs from thistles? Even so, every good tree brings forth good fruit, and the evil tree brings forth evil fruit. A good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit, neither can an evil tree bear good fruit. Those are verses 16 to 18. Lastly, we should understand that being is not stagnant. It's not something before an action. It is the act of being. Just look at the very word for being in Latin, esse. It's a verb, to be. The primary example is God himself again, who is charity, charity which is a choice and an act. We learn in 1 John chapter 4, O theos agape estin, that is, Deus caritas est in Latin, God is charity. As St. Thomas Aquinas wrote, Amor Dei est infundens et creans bonitatem in rebus, that is, It is the love of God infusing and creating goodness in things. Everything we are and have is the gift of his divine love, of him who is infinite being. Our job is to become more like him by becoming charity also, so to speak. As St. Bernardine of Siena wrote, "We put on, I say, our Lord Jesus Christ, as wool takes on color, as air takes on light, and as iron takes on fire. The wool is dyed on the outside, the air is penetrated through its very interior, but iron is both interiorly and exteriorly transformed, as it were, into the very nature of fire. Show forth the color of Christ in your conversation, the light of Christ in your knowledge of the faith, but the fire of Christ in your love. For as iron placed in the fire more truly becomes fire than merely something on fire, in the same way, men on fire with charity, rather than being seen as putting it on or being imbued with it, or even as being enkindled with it, to speak emphatically, are rather seen to be charity." Such an enlightened bit of wisdom that I found hidden away in this great saint's original writings. Yet another reason to study Latin. Well, I hope you too have found this helpful and inspirational. If you have, please like and subscribe and share. God bless. Et oremus pro invice.